On the last Sunday meeting, we talked about Bitcoin stocks seeing a major expansion on this Bitcoin breakout. We expect it to get on a rocket mode setup with lots of fuel, and it so far it's been doing really well. The breakout's been initiated, and there's a lot of room on Bitcoin. So I'm really looking forward to what this market has in the future, especially with the Trump administration here. Now, for any announcements here, we did make an announcement on our Discord, adding the crypto trade alerts channel. So we're excited to introduce the Crypto Trade Alerts channel to our community. This addition comes at a pivotal time, and we strongly anticipate our team benefit tremendously from targeted insights and alerts to help capture opportunities in the crypto markets. We believe this is the perfect time to introduce the channel, as the crypto market is primed for growth following a heavily consolidated breakout phase, as we saw here. So we were consolidating for pretty much the rest of 2023, and finally, the rest of 2024, and it's looking like we are getting that breakout. So whether we go down and retest the breakout at 72,000, or whether we just consolidate here or continue to go, something is clear, and it's that the crypto market is on an uptrend here. So yeah, team, with Trump's election in January 2025, additional crypto catalysts can fuel this breakout's continuation to new highs. Our team will be ready to capitalize on the amazing opportunities that emerge from the cycle here that we are seeing from Bitcoin. So things are looking really good on the Bitcoin side of things, and I know some of you have been feeling FOMO. I myself have been feeling FOMO, and I did make a little bit of profits here and there, but I kept myself in check to just simply wait things out until the next time. So once we go back down, we pretty much either consolidate or just have a pullback to create some form of higher lows. We're going to step in, we're going to ride this long, and we'll take advantage of this uptrend. Now, even if we don't go down, and we just pretty much consolidate for the upcoming days and weeks here, we're still going to trade it. So far, Bitcoin looks really good. Now, let's move on to the S&P 500 analysis. Now, looking at the S&P 500 analysis, we are obviously in an uptrending market. We broke out of that structure there, that defined range from 565 support to 584.92 resistance. And ever since we broke out, we have been in this uptrending structure. Now, it is important to keep in mind that we have some events this week that are going to affect the current setup here. So what do I mean by that? Now, before we talk about those things, I would like to mention that considering we are in an uptrending market, this means that the market has more room to go up to. So in this case, we would be dip buyers, and we wouldn't be trying to look for short opportunities. I'm not saying that we can't look for short opportunities. Matter of fact, I think tomorrow might be a good short opportunity at the peaks of it, expecting the market to kind of sell off a little bit, and then the dip buyers showing up around the 590s area and pretty much advancing higher by the end of the week. So this is what I think is going to happen. But for now, let's take a look at the events that are happening this week. So this is this week's major U.S. economic reports and Fed speakers for November. On Monday, November 11th, we have nothing. So on this day, there's really not much happening. It's a Veterans Day, a holiday, so the bond market will be closed. Thank you to all of our veterans. I love seeing those photos that you guys. Honestly, I have many of you on Facebook, and I love seeing that. I did not know that so many of you were actually veterans. So it's really, really awesome to see that. I've always grown up around veterans. Honest to God, there's a lot of USMCs. There's a lot of bases in San Diego, so a lot of veterans out here. Thank you all for your service. And team, I did want to mention one more thing in regards to this holiday here. Considering that the bond market is closed, those of you that are on a cash account, your buying power is not going to be ready tomorrow. So what's going to happen is you won't be able to trade because the funds, the banks and the Fed Reserve being on a holiday did not settle your cash. So keep that in mind. Don't freak out tomorrow if you see that your buying power has not settled. This is because it is a holiday. Your buying power is going to settle on Tuesday morning, and everything will be back to normal. So heading into Tuesday, we have some Fed speakers. Christopher Waller will be speaking. Richmond Fed President will also be speaking, along with Philadelphia President. Now, this is not really important. The market could possibly still still do its thing. Now this is where things get very serious. When we head into Wednesday and Thursday, this is when we're getting some big data. We got the core CPI data on Wednesday session 1 hour before the market opens. So that data is going to affect the market. Depending on how it's going to be reported. And then heading into Thursday session, we got the PPI data, the core PPI, which is the measurement that the Fed looks for to make decisions on inflation. And we also have the Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell himself speaking on Thursday. So this is what the market will likely wait for. So considering that we are somewhat overbought, we have been expanding away from the 20 EMA line, as we can see here. Don't be surprised if we do see some down days heading into this week where we kind of come back down, give up a little bit of territory, maybe even retest the 590s before we rocket back up higher by the end of the week, and then continue the uptrend heading into the rest of Christmas. Now, our team shared a chart that I found that I resonated with as well. This is the S&P 500 here on the 5-minute time frame from Paris's chart, and it looks like if we reject the 599 heading into Monday session and we fail to make new highs above 600, then we can look for that weakness to come in where we form that potential bearish head and shoulders on the 5-minute chart, sending us down to the 590 to 589 area, collect all of that liquidity, and then come back up heading into the either the CPI data, the PPI, or the FOMC, sorry, not FOMC, the Fed Chair Powell speak. So all of these catalysts here can trigger the market to behaving this way, providing some opportunities for the bulls to buy the dip and continue on with this uptrend. So this is what I'm seeing so far on SPY, and I'm going to show you where I will be trading and where I think the opportunity will be heading into the upcoming weeks. But for now, team, one more thing that I want to show you here is that the RSI on SPY is above 70%. And as you all know, once the RSI gets above 70%, that's when the market gets those nonsensical, massive green candles with the RSI in what we call a melt-up operation, as we can see here and as we can see there. Now, there's also the weekly chart here that's just about to get that 70% melt-up operation, which can see more upside heading into the rest of this year. Now, looking at the SPY chart here inside of this channel, we have been going from support to resistance, back down to support, and so far it looks like we may have a few more weeks of green to touch that 615 to 620 area on the S&P 500, which is another $20 increase. We have a big demand candle. So the point of this week is, team, the point of this week is, are we going to get some sort of retracement on this massive demand candle back down to the 590, just giving it about a 30% retracement before the bulls step back in, and then break the week on Thursday above 599 and then shoot up, setting the ground for more upside heading into the fourth week of November? Or are we going to just pretty much hold on well above 599, not even go down, and just print that massive green candle towards the 610 and 615? So this is what I'm looking at, and so far both of these cases are bullish to me. The market looks bullish, and I think we can continue to see more upside from here one way or another. So it really depends on how Monday is going to trade, how Monday and Tuesday are going to play out. If Monday and Tuesday are pullbacks, then you are expecting to buy the dip by probably, I would say, by maybe before Thursday session, just before the market closes on Wednesday, expecting the market to react positively to the CPI data, and then set the ground for Thursday to see more upside on Powell's speech. All right, now that we talked about the S&P 500 here, team, let's go and take a look at QQQ, which is my main focus heading into the upcoming weeks here. But so far, any questions, team? Any questions on SPY? Do you all also agree with me that we may be overbought and we may possibly get a day or two pullback before seeing more upside? I'm not saying we can go higher. By the way, into tomorrow's session, we can very likely go higher. I'm not saying we can go higher, but seeing that pullback will be very nice for the bulls. And the chances of that pullback happening is very high, because what usually happens is the market likes to wait these times out when we go into these events and create these consolidatory periods there, where we pretty much wait for the data, and then as soon as the data comes out, we just rip right up. So considering that the market is bullish, that consolidation there will be nice. All right, let's take a look at QQQ. So my main focus for this, for the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to be on QQQ. So um, and the reason why I say that, team, is because the S&P 500 has these sectors in its weighting. We got XLB, which is the materials, XLC, the communications and streaming platforms, XLK, which is the technology, XLF, the financials, XLE, the energy, XLRE, the real estate. So each of these sectors here have particular stocks within their industries. So this one, the XLF sector, this one has banking stocks like JPM, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and so forth, Morgan Stanley. So these stocks are looking quite overbought to me, and this indicates that they could go on a pullback cycle. And what may happen in the meantime, when the S&P 500 may see some sort of weakness, we could see XLK leading here. So XLK stocks, which are Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, AVGO, CRM, Oracle, AMD, Cisco, ACN, ADB, Now, TXN, IBM, QCOM, INTU, AMAT, MU. These stocks are looking like they're going to get more upside, in my opinion, for the upcoming weeks here. So I am quite bullish on the technology sector. I think we're going to get more upside. And one way that I'm looking at it is Nvidia. So considering that Nvidia earnings is coming up soon on the 20th, I think what's going to happen is the stocks, such as the semi stocks on SMH, such on the semiconductor ETF, such as AMD, such as TSM. So taking a look at AMD here, we can see that clearly AMD is undervalued, and this could get significant upside if we get that momentum heading flowing into tech with Nvidia leading. So taking a look at Nvidia here, Nvidia actually just caught up to Apple being the most valuable company in the world. So I think what will happen with this new how do I say this? This is a new this is new to the market, and I think it's going to do something that's never happened before, and that it's going to make NVIDIA become the bellwether for the semiconductors, which means that if NVIDIA sees more upside, then other semiconductors like AMD, instead of going down and doing the opposite, will start moving with NVIDIA and the rest of the semiconductors ETF. So AMD here looks good. Another one is SMCI. SMCI here, I know many of you are very bearish on this, and it is fair to be bearish because we're getting a lot of bearish news release, and I think this is quite normal for companies that are seeing the worst of the worst. We saw that happen with Tesla when it was trading at the $100 range. Everybody thought that Tesla was going to get basically decrowned from the Mac 7, and there was a lot of bear sentiment. However, just in that time, the company released some promising data that made a turnaround on Tesla. So we could see something similar for SMCI here, where we could see positive earnings heading into this week. I believe it's released on the 12th. Yeah, so earnings is coming out on the 12th here for SMCI. And if earnings is good, then there's a lot of room for this stock to go back up to, which I'm looking at around 55 to even 58, filling that gap there at actually 67. So, oh my gosh, that's a lot of upside room, a lot of upside potential if the company does well. Now, there are rumors that the company could get delisted. So, you also have to take that into account and just not go heavy. But I'm liking SMCI here. It's trading at just where it broke, just at where it established that major support from before it saw that explosive rally from $21 all the way to $122. So currently trading at $23 here. I think it's a good time to buy SMCI for any potential upside heading into the whole NVIDIA momentum there. Now, let's see, SMCI, we took a look at AMD there, and MU. So, team, you all know we have been in the MU swing. We've been patiently waiting for that MU swing on from our swing trade alert there. Let's go to, we're in Microsoft as well. We're going to talk about Microsoft shortly. We're going to, I already sold ABBV for 50% profit on that trade, 60%, but we will be looking at it again today to see if it's going to be a good opportunity to buy for the team again. So I want to show you that MU trade that we're in. So close MU. We entered MU again. I'll take a look at it later, team. But yeah, MU is looking really good here. The setup is good. We got a nice double bottom there, and I think it's time that this stock is finally going to see some heavy upside to fill that gap at 127. We got a double bottom within the double bottom from that downtrend breakout. We're regaining the 200 SMA line. We're revolving around the 200 SMA line, closing the candles above, and I think eventually bulls are going to step in. There's going to be some sort of catalyst that's going to push this higher all the way towards the 127. So this move, this stock is known to make these kind of moves. It does consolidate, but once it does break out from its consolidations, it sees some significant growth. So this is something that I'm looking forward to on MU. We have plenty of time. We got a June expiration on this trade, so that gives us plenty of time. For those of you that are not in this trade, now I do want to find out which contract that is. Give me one moment, okay, team, please. MU01, where is it? Okay, this one's for where's the June expiration? Okay, I can't find it, but what about this contract for Rain Bond here? That one is good as well. We're gonna take a look at the January 16th, 2026 for 150 call. So January 2026. 150 call. It's that one's actually up quite an amount, so we're not going to trade that one. We're gonna go with the June 20 expiration. You can pick up the June 20, the 150 call at 5.0. I think this is a good trade to pick up for MU heading into the upcoming months, especially for NVIDIA momentum. It is a very further out strike, but remember, we like to trade these contracts the way we trade stocks. So how often do we see a stock double? Not often. We do see it, of course, we see it double often, but what I mean is, like, how often do we see it double in a week or two? And these kind of trades provide just those opportunities. So buying it at 5.0 and then it goes and fills that gap at 127, that's going to give us over 200%. So anywhere from 200 to 250%, considering for a little bit of theta decay on it. So I think this is a good trade. We don't have to wait for it to go in the money. We just want to take advantage of the IV increase along with the time remaining on it and the given premiums, considering we get closer to the stock price. So MU is a good trade. If you're not in it, you could pick up the 150 call there for June 20 expiring next year. This is a good trade. AMD also, Rain Bond has an analysis for AMD that she'll post later in the Discord. But so far, this setup also, I think, is a good one to trade with the momentum that could flow into tech. So we really believe that momentum is setting up to flow into tech. We're going to take a look at Nasdaq, and then we'll go over the QQQ. So here's Nasdaq. Nasdaq is really starting to break. It's already broken its historic all-time highs here at 20,923, and we can see this is clearly these small candles, small pullbacks signify that supply is so low and demand is so high that we see something like that, even though price is so overbought. So this is basically a way for the price to catch up, for the moving averages to catch up, and pretty much for buyers to exchange, for sellers to exchange hands with new buyers. And so far, this is looking bullish. I think it's going to continue to get more upside here. And yeah, so far NQ looks good. Okay, team, eyes on NQ here. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 has already broken its mid-July historic all-time highs at 5,713. Currently trading at 6,000. If we go to the Dow Jones Industrials, the Dow Jones also, the mid-July high was 41,563, and it's currently trading at 44,300. So it's far past its historic all-time highs. But if we look at Nasdaq here, Nasdaq has not broken it has now broken its historic all-time highs, but barely. So there's a lot of room for Nasdaq to see more upside, and this is why I'm going to be focusing on the tech stocks for the next couple of months here, because I think this is where the biggest moves can happen, and that's why I'm watching that. So I want to show you IWM as well. While we're at it, I would like to show you the Russell 2000. So you guys know that I've been very vocal about Russell 2000, and this is the Russell 2000. We broke out over that main resistance line at 2000, pretty much the 230 area for IWM, and we are currently trading at 243. So we have seen significant upside, and we're working our way towards this level of resistance at 246 on IWM. So once we test that 246, let's go over IWM there, take a look at IWM. Sorry, so once we touch that 244, then what will happen is we will pretty much begin to pull back from there and start building the momentum to take out that supply at that level. So IWM, we're very, very bullish on the long term. I've been saying it every single Sunday for us that IWM has been consolidating inside of this cup and handle on the bigger time frames, such as this weekly chart here, and we're finally getting that breakout there. So since we are getting that breakout candle, this breakout candle here could be setting the ground to see a tremendous uptrend for the next 2 years on IWM going into lower inflation. So let's take a look at the weekly chart as well. This is the weekly chart. We can see that over the last 4 years, 5 years, we have been forming this cup and handle formation, and we're barely breaking out. So this really gives room for the next 2 to 3 years here to see that uptrend on IWM. And I think the chances of this happening is very, very high. The reason why I say that is because it's undervalued, and the market has been moving on the magnificent sevens, and it hasn't really seen much I mean, we are seeing it obviously ever since the Fed has started reducing interest rates, but it's still very undervalued. There's still so much room, and I think we are seeing the perfect candles to basically set the foundation for that move to come in for the next two years here. All right, so now that we talked about IWM, let's go back to QQQ and let's take a look at some of the stocks that can push this particular ETF higher, this portfolio. So the technology portfolio. Now, as we can see on Friday's session, XLK was one of the 3 sectors out of the 11 that closed red. Although it shows that it closed red, it's doing really well. It's sitting right at this resistance level, and any momentum that we build this week, if we see, let's see some sort of pullback down to the 230s and then buyers show up, this is just going to be more healthy for bulls to finally get that breakout above 238 on the XLK sector and get this rocket move going. You guys know we looked at a lot of these sectors. We looked at XLB when XLB broke out. We looked at XLC. That was beautiful. You guys know we looked at the stocks that we looked at for this particular breakout to initiate was Meta, which is the biggest holding, and then we also looked at Netflix, and we can see this one has been doing really, really well ever since we saw that breakout, and we made some amazing profits. I think we made 80% off of the Meta trade for November 15, 600 call. So XLC, this one did really well. We saw the breakout on XLF. We had that bullish pennant that ended up doing really, really well. And then we had the energy. So energy, by the way, team, energy is starting to see a lot of upside, and this could see a breakout above this key level resistance at 94. The reason why this is happening is because you guys know how Trump's economy was in 2020, and we could see that strength there. So this is what the energy sector is simply showing us here in regards to sentiment. It's showing us that it's basically showing us that the economy will be far from a recession. I'm not saying that a recession is not going to happen, and I'm not saying that the economy is going to be prone to anything. All I'm saying is that the reason why the energy sector is responding in this way and really getting ready to get that major breakout above 94, which could really get XLE soaring with momentum, is because everyone's expecting Trump's economy to be hot, to pretty much be active, and not going into a recession. Pretty much, that's what this is signifying. So, not trying to be political here. Now let's go to the real estate. Real estate also looks good. Honestly, doesn't look too bad. Real estate could get rotation along with tech. Let's take a look at consumer staples. This one has been pulling back, and rotation could be flowing into this one. So the ones that have been leading the market, such as XLC, which is communications, along with XLY, which has been Tesla and Amazon. this could see more upside, but there's a chance that we could see some sort of rotation flowing out of those stocks and flowing into the ones that have been in a pullback over the last couple of months. So the sectors that I am bullish on are XLK, which is the technology sector, and then the energy sector, which is XLE on this breakout. If we get above 94 there on XLE, I'm going to trade the stocks that are in this sector, which are XOM, CVX, COP. You guys know I like to play Velo. I like to play MPC. Those are some good ones. So let's take a look at CVX there. CVX, it's trading right at this level of resistance, but there's a good chance that it can finally break out. As we can see here, it's been on this bullish pennant for the last 3 years here, and it can finally see that breakout. This is the monthly time frame here, and you tell me, team, how does the monthly time frame look here? Not bad, right? We're getting that supply breakdown that we saw there. This candle is trying to now take it out for this month here. So we've only been 10 days into November. Is this going to get ready for a Trump economy, for a Trump administration here to see that breakout on energy? We'll see. We'll see. I'll be honest with you, I'm in my early stages for the energy sector. There's a lot for me to learn about the energy sector because there are so many correlations. But for now, let's take it for what it is, and I'm taking it through price action. So seeing that buyers are showing up and they're taking out that supply. If things are, let's say, if there are correlations in other areas or in other data that are going to show that rotation will flow into energy. We are seeing that within the supply and demand dynamics, and that's what I'm relying on so far for the energy sector. So CVX looks good. XOM, let's take a look at XOM. XOM also, I mean, take a look at XOM, team. You tell me if this is bullish or not. We have on our website, in our mentorship, we have the super trading strategy that that we teach our team, which is a very, very powerful trading strategy. And take a look at this one, team. This is the 200 SMA line. This is the 20 EMA line. We have been closing every single candle over the last 2 years above the 20 EMA line, and we're finally breaking out above the level of resistance. You tell me if this is not bullish on XOM. I think that's pretty bullish. And I think we are heading into the time, just that perfect time where we can start seeing that big expansion. And once we see that big expansion, that's when the news is going to spread out towards pretty much everywhere else where the stock is really going to start seeing those massive breakout candles. So I'm really liking XOM here. Let's take a look at MPC also. MPC now, this one usually is very, very strong, and it is kind of shocking that it's trading down here. But yeah, this one still is, I mean, it doesn't, it's come down a lot. And usually this is a sign of weakness. What I would like to do is, sorry about that, team. I would like to instead trade where the momentum is, such as we saw on XOM. XOM looked very strong, and it looked like it was going to be the best setup out of all of them. And then there's setups like that where we know that they're not absolutely A+ qualities where we expect them to, like, with very high certainty to break out, but they do have very fair risk to reward ratios. And here's why I say that. We got a bullish engulfing candle, right? We're right at a support trend line, right at the support of this uptrend line here. And considering that we're getting this reaction, if we buy a long trade here, a long-term trade, targeting this level of resistance at 180s by, let's say, by June expiration, we can set our stop loss at 145 area, and I think that reward is going to be very, very well worth it. So really up to you. I think the setup is there, looks good. We got a bullish engulfing candle reaction at the retest of that uptrend, and this can send the stock right back up if energy gets more momentum here. Let's take a look at Velo here. Now, Velo is getting that bullish demand candle as well, team. Take a look at it. I think this looks great as well. We got a double bottom there. This is a great setup to me. I'm going to alert a call for this trade for the June expiration. We're going to target the 160 call. We're going to target 160 for Velo June 20, 2025 call. this looks good. Now, again, team, we're not expecting the stock to really go to 160. All we are trying to do is take advantage of that contract like the way we would trade a stock. Because if we are holding that contract, even if it goes to, let's say, even if it goes to 145 and it starts trading at 9.0, that's a 85 to 90% profit for us. We will be more than happy to take that. So far, team, what do we think? Any questions on energy? So far, so good, right? Looks really good. I'm liking energy stocks. So energy and tech, I'm really liking those two sectors. I'm expecting semiconductor rotation inflows heading into NVIDIA earnings for the next 2 weeks here. Sorry, yeah, it's on November 20th. So pretty much heading into the upcoming week. Not this week, but the following week after. All right, so industrials, XLI Industrials has been doing really well, continues to do well. The momentum is there to go higher. I think overall, team, the market just looks really bullish. XLV also looks good, but the only stock that I want to trade from XLV at the moment is ABBV. So I think this may be a good one to trade or to try and buy heading into this week. If we can get a retest at the 20 EMA line at around 196, I'm going to be a buyer there. For an anticipation that bulls are going to step in with a big green candle, get a follow through to that massive demand candle from earnings, that massive demand reaction, and just pretty much set that ground for that higher low structure, and then continue to go higher from there in this fashion. Pretty much advance back up. So that's something that I am looking forward to on ABBV, and I'm looking forward to buying the dip heading into this week at around 195 to 196 area. Trump's fracking could bring money into Oxy. Team, I forgot to mention this goodie here as well. We caught a beautiful move off of Oxy last time. We caught Oxy right here, and we saw a massive rocket. So keep your eyes out on Oxy as well. Oxy, it's right back up to the bottom here, and this could be a good opportunity if momentum continues to flow into energy, especially if energy gets that breakout above this key level resistance that it's so close to at 94.13. Now, team, I'm done with my analysis for today. I told you what I wanted to do for this week. I wanted to see some pullbacks and then buy the dip, expecting the market to continue to push higher. And now what I want to do is I want to go over my watch list really, really fast here and show you some stocks that led Friday's session that can continue to see more upside in the upcoming weeks. So these are stocks that you can buy the dips on, expecting bulls to continue to show up. Now, the first one is Tesla here. Tesla, I know it's been going up a lot, and it looks very, very strong because when I see this behavior, right, when I see this behavior where we break above a key level resistance, such as this one at 315, especially after breaking structure of a downtrend, meaning that we enter an uptrend, what happens is if we see, let's say we see more upside right here to 360s and we start to pull back, any of those pullbacks that we get down here, this is all going to be amazing opportunities for us to buy before we get the next higher high push towards the all-time highs at 415 area. So Tesla will be a great one to buy the dip on. I think bulls can continue to push it higher. Just look at it this way, okay, team? If you really want a very, very precise way of trading the Tesla momentum with a firm stop loss, here's how you can trade it. As long as bulls maintain above 315.21, where let's say the price becomes uncertain, right? And you're like, you know what? I was trading this one on last week, and I was making a lot of money on Tesla, and I want to trade it again this week. You look at Tesla to see if you should trade the momentum, and you're noticing that bulls are stepping in at 315 on the pullback, and they're printing massive demand candles. You can enter the trade there and continue to trade the upside. However, the moment they break below 315.21, you cannot remain in the trade. As soon as, I'm telling you, team, this is exactly what's going to happen from my experience. Once they break below 315.21, it's going to get a little bit bloody down to 299 area. Now, at that 30% retracement, bulls are going to step in, and that's when we're going to buy the reaction off of that, expecting bulls to break above that level of resistance and then shoot up towards the 360s and then the 400s. But Tesla is one to buy the dip. I'm really expecting more upside on this stock. I'm expecting some massive momentum trades for Tesla here. This is the monthly time frame as well. Looks very bullish, and it just looks like we are setting up towards historic all-time highs there. So any consolidation for the stock is going to be good to send it towards that historic all-time highs. So far, we already got the breakout, so it is very possible that bulls can step in as long as they remain above 315 on Monday. Pretty much this, if let's say heading into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday session, if they maintain above 315.21 somehow, even if they go below it, but then regain 315.21, my instant target on Tesla is going to be a break above 329.74 by the end of the week on Friday, setting the ground for more upside heading into the next week after that. So this is the monthly time frame here, but very similar setup on the weekly chart as well. Now for the monthly time frame, again, same setup. I think bulls are going to be very strong, and they're going to maintain it and then print another green candle, maybe half the size of this current one at the moment. But yeah, Tesla looks good. Nvidia reports earnings so far, looks good. Looks like it's just continuing to push higher here. But yeah, it's not one that I am watching to trade at the moment, but it is one that I'm watching to trade other stocks like SMCI, AMD, and MU. But yeah, team, that concludes my analysis here. Let's go over some of the momentum trades that I have here from Friday's session. So MSI, you guys know we have been holding shares on this stock. I think we bought it 2 years ago. I alerted shares on this stock around 299. So 299 so far, we are trading at 506, and it just continues to go higher. MSI. So for those of you that are holding, the stock beat earnings, and it just looks like it's going to continue to see more upside from here. FICO, this one also beat earnings, and it's been on that melt up operation there. Let's take a look at some other setups. This one looks good as well. EOG Res. What kind of stock is this one? This is together with its subsidiaries, explores for develops, produces, and markets crude oil. Oh, wow, interesting. So yeah, this one's also moving up with the energy sector, and we can see that it's looking really good. It's very primed for that massive breakout there. So I would not be surprised if EOG does print a big breakout candle heading into Monday or Tuesday session off of this resistance level at 134. My first target is going to be 139. My second target is going to be in the 145 area. TAP is a good bullish momentum trade here, team. This one beat earnings, and we can see it's above the 70% melt up operation. So it is very likely that this will continue to get more upside towards that zone there. Retest filling the gap at 63. So TAP, I think this is headed towards 63 there. Now, the way that I would trade this is I would probably buy let's see, April. The April ones don't have a lot of open interest. It would be good. It would still be good, honestly. It's not bad, but let's take a look at January. You could probably buy the 60 call on Monday, team. You could buy the 60 call for TAP and sell it by the end of the week or heading into next week once we touch that 63 there. LLY, this is part of the XLV, the healthcare sector. I'm going to, looks good, honestly. Looks good, but I'm going to pass up on this one. I like to go with the momentum and not trying to catch these reversals. TT, Train Technology, this one also, this looks really good. It just broke out and can continue to see more upside here. CRM has been an absolute beast here, just on a melt-up operation. Unfortunately, I was in a CRM trade, but our trade did not perform the way we expected it to, and it's making the move happen after we got out of CRM. Here's another trade that's really good, team. Centerpoint Energy. I know a lot of you have been telling me to look at the energy sector. I see you guys, and I've been trying to ignore it because I want more confirmation. But here's another one. This one also looks good. CNP. We're getting that rally-based rally. And honest to God, this looks really great here. The setup is there. It's already reported earnings. We're getting a positive reaction off of earnings. So this looks good. This looks really good here. Oh my God, this may be one that I will trade for the team because I love trading setups like this. When we get these 4 to 5 year consolidations and we finally get these massive demand candles that signal that we're going to break out, oh man, they provide amazing, amazing opportunities. Premiums have been beat up for 4 years and they will explode off of this move. So this is a great one to look at. Let's see. Let's see. Oh wow, the contracts are very cheap as well, team. The contracts are cheap as well. So let's see the furthest one we can get. December 19, 2025. Those ones don't have a lot of interest, but the 30 call is good. The 30 call does look good. We could probably pick up the 30 call at 2.70 on Monday session. I think this can be a good trade. Plenty of time, gives us 400 days of time for this move, for this contract that's in the money at the moment, by 30 cents to pretty much get that move. Now, the reason why this is good, team, the reason why this risk to reward makes sense is because if the contract expires in 400 days and we have already been consolidating for 3 years, then if this year is the breakout, that contract is going to gain significant premiums. But yeah, as we can see, a lot of the stocks that we actually went through, they're from the energy sector. So that's another key signal that energy is going to do well. Oh, GE, team, GE is one that will continue to do well. So if you guys are a fan of GE Aerospace, buy this stock. This one's going to continue to do well. So you could probably buy the leap on this trade and expect it to continue to go higher for GE. GE is a really good setup here, team. Bringing that to your awareness right now. GE is going to be good. It'll fill this gap sooner than we expect at 194. So this could be a good trade to buy May or June expirations on. Let's take a look at March here. Wow, the contracts are very expensive because the market makers know this one's going to print. So you could probably pick up the March 21st 210 call, and honest to God, with a trade like that, you could make 40%, 50%, 60% in about a week. And you can see it too. It did it on Friday. It printed a 48% on this contract off of the 3.25% up day. So looks good. This is a good trade to pick up. March 21st, 210 call at 5.0 on Monday session. GE is a good one. I think it's going to break above 194 and then see new historic all-time highs at 200. I'm going to go over just a few more really fast. Team, I shared this one on the two Sunday meetings ago. I shared cost with us, and take a look at cost. Oh my goodness. If you bought that June 20, 1,000 call, you are absolutely printing. The way that I termed this particular setup was that we said this was a farming trade. We farm it just like we farmed NVIDIA. And you can see it just worked out so beautifully. And it's very close to the 1,000, even though it's not even anywhere close to our June expiration yet. MSCI, waiting on the sidelines for this one. So team, I've noticed NEE, this is the energy sector, okay? Some of these are looking really good. I got to be honest, some of these setups look really great. Like this one right here, this has a 30% RSI test, which is a very, very clean buy signal there. So if you guys want to pick up Nextra Energy here, this is a good one. You could pick up, let's take a look at March expiration. You could pick up the 80 call. You could pick up the 80 call for March 21st, 2025, 80 call at 3.50 to 3.30. This can be a good trade. This can be a really good trade. Bulls have a lot of upside room. Take a look at a few more. Now, this one right here, team, I'm also looking at this one. This is actually the only one that I wrote down that I wanted to expose to the team. This trade is, let me pull it up. Give me one moment, please. So this is what I'm looking at for this trade. I'm looking at KVUE post-earnings trade strategy, buying to open January 16, 2026, 25 call at 205. So I'm buying that at 205 heading into Monday session. And I'm expecting this breakout here from that level of resistance after strong earnings to see a nice expansion towards 25 and even 27 in the upcoming months. Pretty much heading into earlier next year, even into second quarter, honestly. I'd give it a lot of time. But so far, looks good. We have enough time to give it until June for it to just do its thing while it's in the money. So this is a good trade. Now, if you want to take a shorter term expiration to get a contract that's in the money. You can buy to open KVUE January 17, 2025 call for the 22.50 call at 160. Now, this contract here, you are sacrificing a lot of time. If you get the January 16, 2026 for the 25 call, you have 430 days. But if you buy the January 17, 2025, you only have 68 days, but you're getting the contract that's already in the money by $1. So, which means it'll gain premiums faster. But honest to God, I always like to give myself time and go with the January 16, 2026. It's much safer. That concludes my session for today, team. Do you have any questions so far? I see Jorge mentioned Labu and JNUG. Let's take a look. Oh, this is for the biotech. Interesting. I'm not really I'm not good at these, Jorge. To be honest with you, I don't have much experience with trading Labu or JNUG. JNUG's another one. I know you mentioned that last time. I'm not really a fan of trading those, to be really honest with you. Shopify. Let's take a look at Shop. Yeah, Shop looks good too. I like Shop. Do they have earnings coming up? They have earnings on the 12th, so I would stay away. But well, it really depends, team. If that's a stock that you like, this earnings is going to make it or break it for Shop. Now, if it breaks above 91, this is going to go on a rocket move. You guys saw it back in the 2021, 2022. 2020, 2021, this one went on a rocket mode, and that level where it broke out from was 91. So if it does get above 91 and arches the 200 SMA back up with good positive earnings, this could be the catalyst to send it back up, very similarly to what we saw on, what was that stock? CVNA. So very, very similar key level test there for Shopify on this weekly chart. Let's take a look at ARM. ARM is just consolidating here. I think it's waiting for NVIDIA earnings. It has been, it is in a rally-based rally setup. So you can trade ARM if you see it break above 152. If you see ARM break above 153.12 in the next 2 weeks, sorry, let me adjust it a little bit. If you see ARM get above 152.42, then you got the green light to trade it towards the 181 and even the 200s. Honest to God, if this setup right here, if it breaks above 152, especially reporting positive earnings, which it already did, this can see that. This can see the 182 and even the 200s with positive NVIDIA earnings. So keep an eye out for ARM above 152.42. Once it breaks above that level, that's your range to trade. So for Ranja Sai, sorry if I'm not saying your name right, but that's my thoughts on ARM so far. Hopefully, this analysis helps you. If we break above 152.42, that's very bullish. If we break down below 138.63, then that's bearish. We don't want to be inside of, we don't want to be in ARM if we break below that level. Oh, Microsoft. I mentioned my Microsoft. We're in a Microsoft trade. So team, this is what I'm seeing on Microsoft. Microsoft has been consolidating here for about a year, pretty much for the entire year of 2024. And it's trading at the same range it was trading at in January. So this right here, this consolidation here is starting to show some promising signs that it could be preparing or it could be in the early stages for a massive breakout. So if we head into this week, if we break above 425 on Microsoft, once we break above 425 and get a green candle going above 530, that's it. Above 530, Microsoft is going to have the green light on it, and this is really going to start seeing some explosive moves higher with these repetitive green candles here that we saw right there, anytime that we see that expansion. So it is one that I'm watching, and I'm even in the trade for the 475 call. So if we go to the swing trade, I'm holding Microsoft February 21st, 2025, 475 call at 5.0. We're currently up. I think we're up like $70, $50, but it's still very good for those of you that want to get in. It's a good one, and I think it's really about to print some nice candles here in the upcoming weeks. Now, what I really would like to see is Microsoft is not fully out of the zone, like out of the woods yet. We want to see 430. We want to see 430 break. That's when we're going to feel confident about this trade here. Starbucks, let's take a look at Starbucks. Starbucks doesn't look too bad, team. It's consolidating in this range here, and this could be a week where it may finally get that move. So I think it's good. I think Starbucks is going to get that breakout above 99 heading into this week and finally trigger that breakout there. So for those of you that are not in that are not in Starbucks and you want to take a trade on Starbucks, buy the 100 call for January 17 at 2.86. The 100 call for January 17, 2025 at 286. Now, the reason why we're buying the 100 call is because if we get that breakout above $99, it's going to put intrinsic value on that contract with every dollar that we get above 100. So it's a good one there. Thoughts on TSM? I feel the same about TSM as I do with NVIDIA. So I think it's very strong, and I did mention it. We mentioned it a few days ago here. Looks really good, honestly. This one has a lot of fuel, and I think it's going to get more upside towards 212 and work its way up towards 217 to 220. So I'm bullish on the long term for TSM. I'm expecting TSM to get more upside from here. And that concludes my session for today, team. I'm looking forward to this week. I hope I brought some good setups to your awareness, and I hope you do good this week. Like I said, we expect the market to have some sort of mini pullback, and I think any mini pullback that we get because of the way the events are set up this week are going to be good opportunities for us to buy and and continue to go with the trend and take advantage of the momentum of the trend.